Happy Saturday, everybody! Look at this day. It's glorious. It's a little Florida cold. I think it's probably going to be like upper 60s today for the high. We got Jesse chewing on candy at 8 o'clock in the morning. We've got Mary. You got me. We've got enough mice and men. We've got this awesome sunrise, and we're heading over to Kennedy Space Center. We're going to do a little exploring today. So we're back at Kennedy Space Center. I don't know if you could see, like all the way out there is the vehicle assembly building. You can see it from here. We're a good like 4 miles away from it, but you can still see it. So we're here about 30 minutes early before it opens, but here's some information about annual passes. Daily admission's $50. You have the Hall of Fame, which is included in your admission, and you can always add on, so you can do a KSC up close tour. We've done that before. I think we actually did this and this the last time that we were here. Doing a launch test. There you go. It doesn't get cooler than that. Here's the map of Kennedy Space Center. You guys can pause the video here and check out whatever you want to see. We are there. But aren't we really here? So unfortunately, I know we've got a ton of wind here, but here we are in Rocket Park. Rocket Garden, rather. I know they have a tour that starts here in another few minutes. Maybe we'll go on the tour. So much wind. Let's see what we can see. Hey! How did you guys get in there?
But they are the real rockets, and lucky for us, we get on one split. Now this Atlas right here, this shiny one right here, I'm afraid that's not real. That's the one being out of fiberglass. But take a look around. A lot of firsts happened out of the cave. This is where our very first satellites launched from, like Telstar, not just now like Adventures. Our first communication satellites and our first manned space program all started at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. When you look on the map, Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Kennedy Space Center is right up against it, and the Cape is due east. The reason we started at Cape Canaveral, just because it's a perfect geographical location. You could launch over the Atlantic Ocean. There wasn't a lot of population here. We already had launch pads, a different launch pad for every single rocket. But the real reason is because Britain gave us permission to put tracking stations along the Bahama Islands. Very important when you want to follow your manned space flight. So that made it the perfect location to begin our first space program. The Mercury program, Gemini, and first Apollos all began at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. 9:30 a.m., he says, come on, let's fix that little problem. Let's light this candle, and up he goes. 115 miles up. That flight only took about 15 minutes and 20 seconds. But think about this. Yuri Gagarin had already orbited the Earth a whole month beforehand. He and the monkey astronaut had already flown. Neither one of them were telling Alan Shepard anything about what that flight might be like. Would he survive? Could he swallow? Would they even recover the capsule? Everything went great, and we followed 2 months later with Gus Grissom, proving we could put him into suborbital space and return him safely. Well, let me give you your trivia answer for this week. Apollo 7 is the last manned launch from Cape Canaveral. That Saturn V rocket is the first rocket we built on purpose to send men into space. All the other rockets, we just sort of repurposed from the military. So those will help you in trivia next week. Well, today we're working on our space launch systems with the Orion capsule. That's a heavy lift vehicle that's going to take astronauts to an asteroid, moon, and then eventually to Mars. The Orion capsule, built by Boeing, carries 4 astronauts. We've done a heat shield test for the Orion capsule about 3 months ago, and it was very successful without astronauts, but we did that out at the Cape. Cape Canaveral still has 3 active pads. Our locals know we launch 2 to 3 times a month from there. Military satellites, GPS satellites, and cargo to the space station by SpaceX.
They have the actual walkway that went to Apollo 11 here, so you can see this walkway. And then they have a capsule.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're all going to take a walk over here.
Yes.
Jessie is on her way. One small step for man.
One giant leap for mankind.
On the platform. We're walking. I'm feeling like an astronaut. Oh my God, look at this thing. I'm going to interrupt your photo.
You gotta turn around.
Look at that. I'm ready to get in there. So here's just a map of what the ISS looks like and the countries involved. You can see the space station is the size of a football field, basically. So this is really cool. This is a moon tree. It was grown from a seed that was carried on one of the Apollo missions. So it's a special moon tree. Ooh. I seriously love this wall here. So this basically is telling you about getting into space, this era, post-space shuttle. So they definitely want to get to Mars. You guys have heard me talk about Mars about 1 million times now in these videos. This is the Curiosity. The Orion. It's the new space suit. And over here you have the Space Launch System, the SLS. So this is what they're retrofitting the vehicle assembly building to be able to house. So cool. So this is a full-size model of the Orion crew vehicle. This is what they're using now. Check out this Lego Mars Exploration Rover. So it's just a Lego model. This is way awesome. Look at all of the bricks that are used here. Holy cow. We are going to go check out Space Shuttle Atlantis inside. This tank outside is not real. It's actually a replica, but it's the exact proportions, which is really cool. By the way, this woman wants to take the furthest away picture in the world with her husband that's just too busy texting instead of taking a picture. There it is.
Building 36?
I didn't even know there was a building 36. Must be important. Everyone's here. We have propulsion, aerothermal, flight dynamics.
Anyone know why we're here?
For this.
Good morning. We're going to create America's next spacecraft.
Going to the moon was a camping trip. Now our job is to work and live in space. This vehicle has to do something that we have never done before.
What if we split the booster into its pieces? Rockets, fuel tank.
It's supposed to be reusable. How do we get all those parts home?
What if we just throw the fuel tank away?
How do you feel?
when they come home.
The President's message said you go forward this morning on a daring enterprise and you carry the hopes and prayers of all Americans with you. And astronaut John Young, the commander of the mission, replied, "That's a right fine speech. We sure appreciate it."
This launch at Columbia marks NASA's first manned test flight ever flown into space with people on board. Coming up on the
Alrighty, folks, you can go right on.
Let's take a look at this baby up close. This is the actual Space Shuttle Atlantis, and that's actual space dust that's on there, as we just heard on our tour before. So they did not alter this when it came back. Let's go around the other side and check out the payload. This is a mock-up of the Hubble telescope as well. That was in the payload of the space shuttle. I don't believe it was in Atlantis, but I could be wrong. But that's the mock-up of the Hubble. Now over here you can see inside the payload of Atlantis. This is amazing. You can see the arm extends all the way here from inside the payload. It never looks that big like when you saw it, not in person. Probably doesn't seem that big in video, but that extends a really good distance, probably the length of like a basketball court. Let's get some closer up video. Let's check this out. Oh, down there you got the little camper. No joke, when I retire, I've always said that I wanted to live in a streamliner like that. This guy's just hanging out. And so is that guy. So inside this exhibit, they have about 60 different interactive displays where we can play around with stuff and find out more information. So Mary's gonna do the spacewalk now. It's taking her picture. You gotta look up at the camera. Oh no!
Oh, it's the people back there.
I took a picture of like back there somewhere.
Yeah. Do the first one.
Mary's turned into Frankenstein. There, fire. Oh, we've got a big audience here now too.
I know.
Got everybody's watching.
Yeah, don't mess up.
Don't mess it up. Don't fly into space. Don't be George Clooney.
Yeah.
Use your left arm to drag yourself to the left.
Oh, we're doing it!
Looks like he's reaching for like lost ones, like
She's doing it! Oh my god, we're gonna blow up here. Oh, you did half of one.
Come on,
The asteroid is coming.
Yeah, really?
Alright, we got one done.
Got a minute.
You can do it! Great job. Anybody can do that. We should join NASA. We have a display about the spacesuits that they wear. 14 layers in a spacesuit. The light's really picking this up right now. It's really dark here for this. Those are the 14 layers. So this toolbox went to space already. These are the types of items that they carry. And that is a wrench that went on the space shuttle missions in 2002 and 2006. This display tells you about different satellites that they launched. They actually launched a satellite this small into space. This is maybe 10 inches big. This is telling us about the payload. Bay doors. This is a tube cutter. Let's see if we can get in here. And I kind of have like a cutaway of what the space shuttle looked like inside here. And control. Let's check it out. Oh no, we're getting younger and younger as pilots. Thank God they have this checklist up on the roof. Here's the control panel. Look at this. I'm gonna fly the ship. It's just like Mission Space at Epcot. Look at all these switches. Holy cow. I wonder what the manual looks like for a board like this. Look at this. Ooh, you can touch this. When I have the flu next week, you'll know why. Here's what the astronauts look like when they're going into space. They're strapped in. They've got their flight record velcroed to their thigh so they can maintain it. Even at NASA, you gotta make sure you're climbing on things. Climb on things everywhere. Here's one of their rocket engines up close. Just telling you how hot it gets. So basically 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit inside the engine. Basically turning sand into glass at 4,000 or 4,100 degrees Fahrenheit. And there's the actual engine pieces. Let's look at the undercarriage and all the tiles. That's pretty incredible. I wanted to get some GoPro video of this as well so you can get a good perspective of just how big this is. So you can actually climb into like a little mini space station here. We'll have to see if Jesse can take the GoPro in there. Jesse's going on a mission to the space station. Oh no! Here, the kids are gonna go down this big slide. Oh, there goes Jesse! Whoa! That's what we Look at it. These are all of the missions for the space shuttle over the years. Now we're underneath the space shuttle. It's crazy. Of course, the most popular display about the space station, it's the toilet. And how do astronauts go to the bathroom in outer space? Look at these controls. They are in Russian and in English. If you come over here, they give you instructions on how to go to the bathroom in the space station. My favorite, the minor coaxing. You have a little display here about how astronauts go to sleep. So, you can see, there's their little sleeping chamber. They've got a very old Dell computer in there. And a CD player, high technology. And here's the dining area for where astronauts eat in the space station. Almost looks like a tailgate table. So these tires flew on one of the missions. So here's the prototype. And where did we just see this?
In the movie thing.
Yeah, the movie thing. And here's a spacesuit from the very first space shuttle flight. Look at this Airstream up close. Can I move into this thing in here, inside Kennedy Space Center? Because that would be a dream. So, we just went on the shuttle launch experience, and there it is. You can shoot any video on the ride itself, or pictures, because they'll shut the ride down. I mean, they have video cameras going and stuff like that to make sure that people are shooting. I'm sure there's probably video on YouTube, but I wasn't going to risk it. And I have to tell you, it was really awesome. It's a lot different than the ride at Disney, the Mission Space ride. And I believe that that's based off of Apollo missions. This was based off a space shuttle. You do achieve 3 Gs on this ride, which is pretty amazing. So you feel your face kind of moving like this. So if you come out to Kennedy Space Center, I think it's a can't miss type of thing to do. Would you like to take a survey? So this is what we didn't get to do during the NASA social, is come into the gift shop, and this is amazing. They have patches from every mission that you can buy, and the collector's coins. You can do the same thing here too, so they've got a bunch of them here. It's just so awesome. I like this. It's a space blanket, a genuine NASA spin-off product. Genuine spin-off.
There is a family of eagles living in there. They do have 2 young ones up there. The circumference around the top's the size of a king-size mattress. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up over here on the left-hand side, you will notice those 3 low-can buildings. They're called orbiter processing facilities. This is where they bring the orbiters back to after they land, prepare them and get them ready for the next flight. And second stages.
Over here is where we did all the press buildings the last time for the NASA social. There's the countdown clock.
Over here on the left, you're going to notice it's brand spanking new mobile launcher. That's the launcher of the future. That was built for the Constellation program. They defunded that. Now they're modifying it and getting it. That'll be coming online in 2017 to 2018 with the Orion capsule.
The space shuttle
coming up on the left, you're going to notice a crawlaway.
For the new SLS system.
130 feet across, 3 mobile launch pads. Underneath of it, 1 or 2 crawler transporters. Notice the ears sticking up. Those are called tail service masts. That's how they supply all electricity, fuel, and water to the orbiter as it sits on the mobile launch pad of them all. This is where all the men that went to the moon walked on the moon. This is where they left from. Now, they just leased this launch pad to SpaceX for the next 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice they're building a 300-foot hangar here. They're going to put the Falcon 9 Heavy to get drawn in here, and that's going to be on the Strogmac. It goes up by rail. They keep it in the horizontal until they get up to the top, and then they'll raise it up into the vertical. Right next door to it, you'll see 4 more lightning towers. That's
out there where you see those 4 towers. That's where we had our rocket launch off that we went to 2 weeks ago.
Way down
that was 5 rocket.
37, the home of the Delta. They're going to use it here.
The reason why that metal is melted, that's from the exhaust or the flames out of the space shuttle when it was taken off. Let me go back again with this other pad,
Right here beside us,
takeoff,
you'll
launch
notice the
pad.
crawlaway. The crawlaway's a
So this particular mobile launch pad is where Atlantis launched from. And now
over
it's
here on the left, you're going to notice a small. Over
we
here
have all
on
of these
the left,
tracks
you'll
that the
notice the
mobile launch
American
platform
flag.
follows.
Look down
Goes
to
right
the
into the
ground
vehicle
and to
assembly
the left
building
of
over
it.
here. We got here just in time to go in the Apollo 5 center launch area. So we're going in the launch control building that is still standing the same way that it was the day that Apollo 8 was launched.
First stage, the oxygen tank has been pressurized and the pressure is still building up.
Here's an actual Saturn V rocket. This is what we just watched take off. Well, not that actual rocket, but this is a actual rocket. You guys want to walk underneath the length of it? Oh yeah, I do. Let's check it out. So the command module's down here. Let's see if you can see inside of it. Heck yeah, you can. Look at that. And then right up here, it's the service module. Now let's get back to this. Check out this lunar lander. Holy cow. That is just amazing. It's amazing that they had the technology even 50 years ago to do something like this. Over here we have the lunar rover. Moon buggy! Check it out. I like the way the back of the chairs kind of look like cheap like lawn seating now that they would buy at like Walmart or something. It's so awesome. Check out the tires. They're like a wire mesh material. You got moon boots. And this was the spacesuit. You know, I get the whole gimmick thing, but it's probably not that good to name a hamburger a moon rock, because I can't imagine how it's going to sit in my stomach. So if you guys haven't guessed by now, these are two of my heroes. There's Buzz. This is the cockpit of the lunar module trainer. We're going to go in this NASA Treasures Gallery.
Apollo 13.
So here's the Apollo 13 Mission Module Rescue Book. And it's signed by James Lovell. This is an appreciation plaque. This is amazing. Not the guy's head in front of me. I like that he just walked right there. Let's go. So this is the Apollo 14 capsule. I love how it looks like all weathered and burnt up. Wow. Got a lunar sample in here. Oh, if we can zoom in on this thing a little bit. That's crazy. These are moon rock containment vessels. So they basically would be able to put the moon rocks inside of these so that they wouldn't get contaminated or damaged. This is the flight plan from Apollo 7. It's Snoopy the astronaut!
Sorry.
He's from 1968. It's the astronaut van. It's Party Central.
It's a shot van.
This is what they would use to transport the astronauts to the Apollo missions. So that's cool. By the way, this is the line to get back to the main part of the visitors complex. After you go to the Apollo building, you're waiting in this giant line. It wraps around 2 different times to get onto a bus. So we got to take about an hour to get back on a bus to get back to the main hub. Oh, we're gonna go see Journey to Space, narrated by Patrick Stewart. I'm really psyched about seeing this movie. Look at these awesome movies that they've shown here in this theater before. The Day the Earth Stood Still, one of my favorite cheesy sci-fi movies. Close Encounters, Star Trek, the first movie, not that fantastic. E.T., The Right Stuff. So we saw Journey into Space, and I gotta tell you, it was incredibly breathtaking. The 3D was amazing, and then I passed out. And then I woke up, and then I passed out. And then I woke up, but I missed a good chunk of the movie. By the way, Dave and Irene are here. What did you think about the movie?
I thought it was really good.
It was awesome.
Is it worth the price of admission?
Yes. I would watch the movie first though, because you get kind of tired.
Yes.
I would advise watch the movie first.
Yeah, I'd like to see it again. Well, there's definitely a lot more people here at the end of the day than there was in the morning when we got here. So I guess pro tip would be, if you get here early in the morning, it's pretty empty. We went in the exploration building. First building that you go into when you go in the park. There's lots of cool stuff here about when they first went into space. It's a Gemini program. This is amazing. Model 8B, full-size replica robot from Lost in Space. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. It's the original 7.
So cool.
I'm as tall as them. I'm taller.
Oh,
They're small people compared to Jesse. That's the last thing we're gonna see. It was a pretty awesome day at Kennedy Space Center. Gotta come back here again soon. Look at these guys fighting this alligator. So this is the French 16th century. It's like little tiny naked men fighting gigantic alligators. That's crazy. Yeah, this is some really tiny boats that they rode in on too. Look at how big they are compared to those boats. You can only fit like 3 people to a boat. Although these guys, they must be like little people. Hey, we're back home. And it's actually not terribly late, but it's just late enough that I'm probably going to download the stuff from today and start to get things edited. It's funny, you know, because when I put videos out, I'm always very cognizant of how long they're taking, you know, and when I put up things that are like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm really concerned that like, oh man, something is way too long that people are not going to want to watch. And trust me, I always try to have, I try to power through some of these longer videos, like I'm watching Adam Nawoo and these other channels that have long videos, and sometimes you don't want to see things that long. So that said, we shot like hours of video today, and it's going to be tough to edit things down. So if you're watching this and you made it through everything, congratulations. Thank you for watching everything. But I think we try to break up some things sometimes too for folks so that they can kind of get snack size things. So, and the other thing is, I know that when we go out to places like Kennedy Space Center, sometimes folks don't want to see that. They want to see theme park things, and some folks want to see music. And so, you know, I get a couple of comments on channels from time to time that, or on our channel from time to time, that folks say they really love the fact that we have this much variety in things, and other folks I know tune in only for theme park stuff. And you know, if I did theme park stuff every day, all day, I think I would get completely sick of going to theme parks. You know, I don't want to apologize for the fact that there's so much to do in Orlando that I don't want to just limit things to theme parks. There's so much to do and so much going on all the time. So hopefully I give folks a much broader flavor of everything that's happening here. So on that note, thank you for all of the likes. Thanks for the comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thanks for watching. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys. Thanks.